All right, so it's been a minute since I've posted anything, mainly because I'm a busy guy, and well, frankly, there's a lot of shit going on. There always is, with everyone. Um, doesn't excuse me from uploading and posting things, mainly just because I'm fucking lazy when it comes to, well, putting the time in to doing editing and things. I really don't like doing that kind of shit. It doesn't appeal to me, but I know it's necessary, and I'm working on it. I really am. But today, I worked. I woke up at I don't know, about 4:30 this morning, maybe 4:15, to go to work, and put in a full shift. Came home, slept for a couple hours. Oh my god, look at that fucking bitch right there. Anyways, I came home. Wife fed me, made sure I had a full belly. I took a nap for a couple hours. Then I went back to work because the job is never done. Had to go do some work at a hospital. So it's now shit, I don't even know what fucking time it is. Yeah, it's after midnight. So now I'm done for the night. I'm done for the week. Thank God, because I needed a lot of time this weekend to get a lot of things done. Mainly for the fact that it's encroaching on springtime, and this is the time of the year that it's going to be crazy for a lot of things. Not just because the weather's changing, not just because it's going to be better for processing metal. Not that I couldn't do it before, but a lot of the equipment that I have, I've noticed that it clearly doesn't work very well. For example, my buddy gave me these ceramic plates, ceramic stone plates that came out of a kiln from a university. It's about 5/8, almost 3/4 inch thick. It's good stuff. It really is, but it's really not good for your hot plate or your fire brick at the bottom of your forge. Because clearly I cut it out and then rounded it out. Used it twice for aluminum. Sorry, I'm not very good with the camera. Okay. I used this twice in my recently rebuilt forge. I literally stripped my forge down, rebuilt it with new kaolin, new refractory, put the rigidizer in, like literally spent 2 weeks. Should have only taken like a day or two. Spent 2 weeks to get this shit perfect. Cut this out of this on my tile saw. I've got a wet tile saw, and I made it like perfectly round on aluminum. Okay? That's much lower heat than anything that I ever run. It's the lowest heat that I use. I ran aluminum. One simple little batch cracked straight through. This shit is rated for 3,400 degrees. It's great for sharpening knives. This shit will sharpen an axe like you wouldn't believe. But fucking garbage. Left it in there, did a second run, got all this additional pour. It's like the glass slag shit, which it made me realize a lot of things. In all actuality, I learned a lot just from this little piece here. And I realized that the last 4 or 5 years that I was running a fire brick in my forge, which I never changed out, I ran with the fire brick that Devil Forge sent me. No issues with, by the way. It never cracked. Don't get me wrong. It was good shit. I'm really not sure what they used, what they sent me. Not really sure that I could replicate that. It was a good piece. It was just the fact that after 4+ years of just abuse and being sloppy with my pours, and also letting my buddy use my forge, which really shouldn't have, but I did, putting too much shit in the crucible and spillage not sitting right on the plate, lots of different aspects. Nonetheless, it started caking up like this everywhere. I never got a split. You know, it stayed intact at the bottom of the forge, but what happened was I got a lot of spillage. So what I realized was every so often, at least every week, if not every couple of days, it depends on your usage, depends on how much you pour every day. Take your fire brick out. Check the bottom, check the sides, which clearly this was only after 2 uses. Check for your spillage. Now, you can get like a wire wheel, like you can get your, you can get your grinder out. Clearly, don't worry about that. That was a mishap from earlier, but take a buffing wheel, not a grinding wheel, not a cutting disc. Take a buffing wheel, put it on your grinder, and pull your fire brick out. Buff that shit off. Because what's going to happen is you're going to prolong the longevity of your fire brick, because this shit is always going to happen. That's what I've realized. This shit is always going to happen, and you're going to save yourself a lifetime of fucking hardship, mistakes, frustration, plus having to seek going to the dollar store or other places to find cardboard boxes just so you can cut a piece of cardboard so your crucible doesn't stick to your fire brick. This was after placing cardboard. Don't mind my fingers. This was grout. I spent my entire night grouting floors. This is cocoa grout. Anyways, this was after cardboard. So regardless of how you do this, the cardboard does keep it from sticking, but it does not keep the spillage from sticking to your fire brick. So pull your fire brick out, keep your shit clean, and then put it back in. Just don't use whatever the hell this is that I got from my buddy. Now, I do have an alternate. A long time ago, I ordered a ton of actual fire brick off of Amazon. I got boxes of it. This shit is super thick. It's just like, I don't know, like 1.25 inches, maybe 1.5 inches thick. It's like really, I'm not even, at this point, I'm not even really sure that I'm going to be able to get my crucible. If I put this down in the bottom, I'm going to be able to get my crucible. Yeah, I know this is really crude. I slapped it through my wet saw and just kind of just got nasty with it. It literally took me about 1.5 minutes to do this. But I got a crude fire brick replacement. I know there's a lot of baseline cracks, but that's how these fire bricks come. Don't pay attention to that. I know they're all down the seams, but like, this shit is really dense. This is actually, with all of these cracks, this stuff will hold up better than the stuff that I used up there. Like, I don't know why. I don't know how. But this is twice as thick as my previous fire brick. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments as far as putting the crucible back into my forge. I'm going to have to actually cut all of my pieces that I've run through my crucible. Normally I cut most of my stuff at about 5 inches. Given, I think I run a number 6 crucible. Given that size, I'm still pushing it. I really am pushing it. I'm like at the top of the lid when I close my forge. Shit can run wild, and that's probably also why, you know, I get a lot of this drip. You know, I always push it. I get kind of reckless. I get kind of careless. I should be a little bit more OCD about it, but you know, at the same time, I've got a lot of stuff that I'm trying to process. Sometimes I really just don't give a shit. And sometimes I'm, you know, out here and the limited free time that I do have, I just don't care. I just want to run shit through, you know, just because it makes me happy. This is what I love to do. But nonetheless, I should be more careful about it. I should be more meticulous and methodical about it. And I'm going to have to at this point if I run this fucking honker beast in there. So I'm going to have to cut everything a lot shorter. I do have... Oh, Jesus. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's what I get for using 20 volt lights. Okay. I do have some new stock that I will be running through, but I won't be touching any of this. I won't be running any of this through until I get to about 50 pounds. Again? What is wrong with you? I'm gonna have to write a letter to Hart and Walmart. Granted, I've had these lights for 5+ years. These are 20 volt Hart rechargeable lights from Walmart. This isn't a review. They've been gangster, and I use this to light up literally the entire corner of my metal area of my shop, which don't pay attention to below. But all of this on the bench, well, some of it hanging on the wall. I mean, this is my little metal area, regardless. But I use these rechargeable lights, you know, to do what I need to do over here. So anyways, so I've got some, these are dishwasher motors, which my dishwasher, please don't pay attention to that. This is what 4 years of abuse looks like. That has been my tried and true. There's a whole bunch of shit in there. Bronze, copper, brass. Oh shit, that's a new one. I don't know where my aluminum one is. It's somewhere around here. Anyways, yeah. So, these are literally, aside from the cord, most dishwashers will only have one of these. But because I had some fancy fucking dishwasher from when I moved into this house, it had a double drawer. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. Usually when you open a dishwasher, you just pull the handle and it's one big unit. But this was a drawer on the bottom and a drawer on the top. Double drawer. Fancy shit, probably like $6,000 buying it new, maybe 7 or 8, but complete garbage. Underneath each drawer had one of these motors, copper coils. Aside from that, aside from some little peon, stupid little wires, aside from the main cord, that's all the copper that's in this. And this is maybe a pound. Maybe a pound. I have some. I have some of these. This came out of. Shit, I'm not sure which one is which at this point. This came out of a floor freezer. One of those little small. You hear that? It's because I got all the oil out. Anyways, this one came out of a floor freezer. One of those little small ones. It's like a 2x3 floor freezer that had the top that opens up. One of those little small ones you can get from Walmart for, I don't know, like 150, 200 bucks. But this is the motor. This is the compressor motor. Anyway, so when you open one of these up, you take your grinder and you cut this little puppy open and you drain the oil out, which you still need to cut these off and keep these because that's copper too, and they will go inside. The rest of this is just steel, and you can scrap that or throw it away, whatever the fuck you want to do with it. But inside this is going to be a smaller version of what this is. Actually identical. This same piece, this entire thing, God, this is heavy. This whole thing is what's inside there, but that one's smaller. This is just a bigger one. This is from a refrigerator. Okay, so you got your copper windings, top, bottom, everything else is steel and iron and a few other base metals, but nonetheless. Also, I want to point out that in this day and age, stop scrapping microwaves. Unless you get your hands on an old ass microwave, they're not worth it anymore. This and this, that's all you get from a modern day microwave. That's all the copper you, aside from the power cord, that's all the actual copper you're going to get from a microwave at this point. Because the transformers, they've gone straight aluminum. I know someone else has probably covered this, but I'm showing you the actual results. There's a, I don't even know what the fuck this is called. Anyways, this is the windings off of the fan motor that keeps the all the components and everything cool, which dissipates the heat from the microwave after like nuking your food at like 12,000 degrees. But anyways, this is the copper winding, and there's this thing that's attached to the board. I'm not even sure what the hell that's called because I failed at doing circuitry. Anyways, so yeah, there's that. So I'm gonna get that up to probably about 50 pounds. I've got should be about 10 pounds here, minus all of the casings and the plastic after I scrap that. But then I, goddamn, got that bucket, and I got that bucket. There's probably about 50 pounds in just these 3 buckets alone. I know it doesn't look like much, but it is heavy as shit. I've got a lot. At least for me, because it's hard for me to build up copper. It really is. Like some guys, you watch a lot of their channels, it's really simple. Like they can just go wherever and just pick it up and it's like, hey buddy, yeah, okay, cool, I got you like 30 pounds, yeah, cool, have fun. Yeah, I don't have it like that. I live out in the woods. You know, when I go onto a job, you know, I might find 1/8 of a pound, and that's pushing it. Sometimes I get lucky. I could dumpster dive, and on a new build, electricians will get sloppy and they'll throw away all their scrap. It's kind of rare. But I do find those little gems. So I will dumpster dive for that. And I will find quite a few pounds. So that is the results of that. So aside from all of that, I'm kind of swaying away from everything here. But nonetheless, yeah, I've been extremely busy. It's no excuse, but I've just been dogged out. I've got something glitching. Almost done with my river breakfast table. Still have to put the Rubio monocoat on that. Almost done with that. It's a long time coming on that. But we're encroaching springtime. So I don't know if you can see the glow on my face. My biggest thing right now is the biddies. The biddies, the biddies, the biddies. Trying to prep over 1,000 square feet of garden space and get all of that ready to till for spring, and then cycling the new crops because, well, I don't just do metalwork. I don't have a full-time job that sometimes I work double shifts because I have a large family and I have a lot of expenses and everything else, but I'm also a fucking farmer. So, oh, you guys have made a mess today. This literally was clean this morning. What we do is we put down the wood shavings and then we get layers and layers of newspaper. That way, every morning we pull off a layer of newspaper and get rid of all the poop. But these little guys are so dirty that they jump up on top of their hot plate and shit everywhere. I can't even see what the temperature is. Okay, so we're about 2 degrees too high. They're okay with it? No. Hi, babies. They get skittish. This one with this cotton ball head, that is a Polish. That is a white crested black Polish, which is going to be gorgeous. This little yellow one, that off brown yellow one over here, and then that little runt that looks like a quail. Those are all silkies, and then the 3 fat asses right here, those are Easter eggers. That is the first batch of our spring batch to recoup our chicken population, which we do every year, aside from our turkeys that we raise. We do a lot of shit around here. Like I said, I'm a busy man. Anyways, I apologize for, slacking in the ways of the videos and whatnot. I do have a lot of other things that I could do and build up, and I'm going to start uploading shit, and I apologize for that, but I gotta go to bed. I'm tired, and tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so I need some energy for that. I love you guys. Good night.